Hey, what's going on, everybody? And just got this in the mail. The primary arms 1 to 8 by 24 first focal plane. This one has the Raptor reticle in it, which I love the Raptor reticle. I think it's super functional. On 1X, it is very much like a red dot, very quick, up close, in CQB environments. I have the 1 to 6 right here, which I've had for a few weeks. I've been super interested in this one for the longest time. I finally got it. I put it on my Ruger AR-556, and this with that has been a great pairing. Super accurate, and I really, really, really like the scope. And then last year during SHOT Show, when they said they were going to be coming out with a 1 to 8 first focal plane, I was like, I gotta get it. So it dropped last week, or just before Christmas. They released them. I immediately ordered one. Just got it in about an hour ago, and said, you know what, I gotta get on a camera and do an unboxing. So unlike typical unboxing fashion where you show the box and then unbox it, I just wanted to show a comparison. I'll show you the boxes real quick, how they come. So the boxes are basically identical. The way they're packaged is identical. And the only difference between the two boxes, so this is the 1 to 6, and then this is your 1 to 8. The only difference is some of the verbiage on here has changed to suit the 1 to 8 as opposed to 1 to 6. So I'll move these out of the way, and I'm going to go over some of the differences going right off the back of the box, and then I'll do a quick comparison of the two and give you my opinion on it. So this is the 1 to 6, this is the 1 to 8. So on the 1 to 6, obviously magnification range is 1 to 6, 1 to 8 is 1 to 8. That's pretty straightforward. Both first focal plane. Objective lens diameter is 24 millimeter on both of the scopes. Eye relief is different, which is to be expected because you have a higher magnification range. So on a 1 to 6, you have 4 to 4.3 inches, and on a 1 to 8, you have 3.2 to 3.3 inches. The ocular lens diameter is different on both of these as well. You have a 36 millimeter ocular lens as opposed to the 34 millimeter on a 1 to 8. Exit pupil is slightly different. Exit pupil is 9 to 4 millimeters as opposed to 9 to 3 millimeters on a 1 to 8. Field of view is also going to be different, as to be expected. So on the 1 to 6, you got 110 feet at 100 yards with 1X and 19.8 feet at 100 yards with 6X. On the 1 to 8, it's going to be 105 or 105 feet at 100 yards at 1X and 14.3 feet at 100 yards at 8X. They both are still the same as far as click value, so it's going to be 0.25 MOA or a quarter MOA click value for elevation and windage. Now, on the 1 to 6, your total windage and elevation adjustment is going to be 50 MOA. On the 1 to 8, it's going to be 103 MOA. There is a slight difference in size. It's 10.6 inches without the lens covers on the 1 to 6, and 10.3 inches without the lens covers on the 1 to 8. They both still come with the spare battery storage and the windage cap. Weight without battery and lens covers is 17.6 ounces on the 1 to 6 and 17.9 ounces on the 1 to 8. They both still sport the 30 millimeter tube, and both are still IP67 rated for waterproof. Both are full reticle illumination, and the rest is all the same. Fast focus eyepiece, fog resistant multi-coated lenses, nitrogen purge. They come with the flip up lenses, and they're both 6061 aluminum anodized matte black. They do both come with batteries, one already in the illumination knob and a spare in your windage knob. So that's the same identical packaging, just different verbiage to suit the different scopes. So let's bring these back over and quickly talk about them. So I don't know if you can see it here in the camera. Let me turn it this way. Maybe this will help. Okay. So as you can see, there is a size difference. This is your 1 to 6. This is your 1 to 8. You can also tell that right here for your ocular is different as well. Yeah, so you can see it's a little bit slimmer than the 1 to 8 is a little bit slimmer than the 1 to 6. The weight is negligible. They feel practically the same. It's only a little bit. Now, a lot of what you're going to notice immediately is going to be aesthetics. So your illumination knob, elevation, and windage caps are going to be different. So in the 1 to 8, they went with a different design that's very similar to the Gold Series lineup. And I like these a lot more. I think that they give you a lot more positive traction due to the design, as opposed to these slots, which are functional and they work just fine. But I think these are better, definitely better. The same thing with your illumination knob. Now, the first thing I noticed about the illumination knob, it's marked differently. So on 1 to 6, and I don't know if this is going to pick it up, but you see it's numbered all the way around from 0 to 11. So you have 11 settings of illumination. And on the 1 to 8, you have night vision 1 and night vision 2 settings. Then from 3 to 9 is marked 3 all the way up to 9. And then instead of being 10 and 11, it's marked DT1 and DT2. So I'm going to assume that means daytime 1, daytime 2. And they are definitely daylight bright. I don't even have to be outside to know this, because it is just as bright as the 1 to 6 that I have. And that is just as bright as the other. And I know that this is definitely daytime bright because I brought it to the range about a week or so ago, and it was very, very bright, and I can see the reticle just fine. So it's not aim-point bright, but then again, it's not going to be, and it's not intended to be. Essentially, unless you have a dark backdrop that's not going to contrast well with your reticle with the illumination off, that's when you'll use your illumination, or when you're in your 1x or 2x or whatever in low power, you're going to use that illumination when you move in, say, CQB environments, in buildings or through corridors that aren't well lit, and you need that contrast. And then it works just like a red dot. I mean, it looks similar to EOTech's design, where you have that donut of death. Well, this one you can just say it's a horseshoe of death if you want to, but it's very, very, very fast. I've had this one mounted on my Ruger AR556, and it worked just fine, very fast. Now, just looking between both of them, going back and forth, so I can tell that the glass on the 1 to 8 is much more clear. And I don't know if that's affecting how things are looking through it, but it almost seems like the 1 to 8 is much more true or closer to 1x than the 1:6. I can't confirm this. I don't even know how I would be able to confirm this. But looking back and forth through both of them, it looks like this is closer to 1x, like true 1x. And the clarity on the glass is better. And the glass clarity on this is awesome, especially at the price point. But this one is definitely better. It's immediately noticeable, at least for my eyes. And while I don't have, the eyes that I used to, where I was way better than 2020, I still have 2020 vision, and aside from a slight stigmatism, I can tell definitely better glass in here, and it's closer to 1x. So we'll compare real quick the turrets. So they feel the same in terms of tension. I know it's gonna sound weird, but it seems the same in terms of tension. But these seem on the 1:8 a little bit easier to turn. Now it's not easier to the point where you can accidentally bump it if you don't have your turret caps on, but it feels easier. But it kind of feels like they have the same amount of tension to turn, except it's easier to get to that level of tension on this one and this one, if that's not confusing you guys. But then we'll check the same thing for windage. Yeah, so same feeling. They both come with a storage compartment with an extra CR2032, which is awesome. Magnification ring turns very easily. Very, very easily. Very, very smooth. And it's smooth and easy through its entire magnification range. Same thing with the 1:6. Now, I don't know if you just saw my finger slip off of this, but this is one of the downsides that the 1:6, in my opinion, has. So if I turn this way, you see the knob, the little fin on the adjustment ring, and you see how it's got a more, a wider steep or angle to the fin. With dry hands or even wet hands, it's very easy to slip off of this. So when I was running this, I would just grab it, the whole thing, with my left hand and then turn to whatever magnification I wanted to. On this one, I immediately noticed, so if you can see that, it's definitely a thinner profile with a more vertical sides, and it's very positive. Like, your finger's not going to slip off of that unless you're trying to move too fast or not gripping it positively, but you don't have to worry about slipping off with that. And the cool thing is, with these new fin designs, you can adjust them for what's going to work best for you. So scope caps seem to be the same, and I would expect that they would have been. The engraving on this is a lot different, and it may not seem like that in the camera, but the engraving, aside from the primary arm's name is slightly bigger on the 1:8 than the 1:6, but everything else is a lot thicker as far as the numbers for your magnification range and for your diopter. It's much thicker as far as the numbers are concerned, and you could probably see that right in the camera like that. So, and the same thing with your illumination knob, much bigger or much thicker, so to speak. So they're both made in the same place. They're both made in China. And underneath you can see it's a little bit different, whereas one side just says primary arms or PA 1 to 6 by 24 first focal plane, ACSS Raptor 556. Then you have your serial number, patent pending, and made in China. Whereas this one is different and has a little logo of Texas with the star for, to mark where Houston's location is. And it says, proudly designed in Houston, Texas, USA, Primary Arms LLC, part number, serial number, patent number, and then it says made in China. Now, I thought that maybe with the new scope design, or at least the turret and magnification ring, that they were gonna try going the route of the Philippines, because I know that the GLX line is made in the Philippines. But yeah, they kept it in China, which probably helped to keep the price down. So that is my first impressions of the scope, as opposed to a quick comparison with the 1 to 6. I felt that it was important to do that since I had both, and I'm sure people are going to want to know right off the back, how does it stack up with the 1 to 6? Obviously, I haven't shot it. I've only owned it for about an hour and a half now, or at least have had it in my possession for an hour and a half. Primary Arms doesn't know who I am. I buy everything myself. So this was purchased with my own hard-earned money. So, but that's not going to sway anything that I have negative to say, if there's anything negative to say at all. Now, I took this off my Ruger AR-556. I'm most likely going to mount this to the Ruger AR-556 just so I can do a quick, outing with it, shoot, see how it works at 1x as opposed to 8x. See if I see any accuracy differences between the 1 to 6 and the 1 to 8 on that rifle. If that extra 2x is going to give me any advantage. Obviously I'm only going to be shooting at 100 yards. Shoot a couple groups and see how it works out. But my plan for this one is to live on an LWRC DI rifle that I plan on picking up soon. I have a mount on the way in. I went with Adaball for their mount. They were doing a sale on it, 50% off. I got their regular mount and then do the quick detach because I don't really care for quick detach. So that's where I'm at with this right now. And I'll report back once I have more information to share with you guys as far as how it works and all that. I'll bring both of them with me to the range. This one won't be mounted. This one will. But I want to confirm that the glass clarity is better on this one, as it seems to my eye here, as well as the 1X range. So there you have it. This is the unboxing / comparison, 1 to 6 to the 1 to 8 first focal plane. I really like the way this looks. I think it looks great. I prefer the aesthetics on this one as opposed to the old one, where the old one seems a little bit more generic in design, and this one seems a little bit more personalized. Like, hey, that's Primary Arms. I love the fact that they have the Primary Arms right on top there, and it's not overdone in a gaudy or obnoxious way. So I think it looks very nice. I like the fact that the 1 to 8 is shorter than the 1 to 6. It is a slightly heavier, but when you hold both of them, it's almost imperceivable, the weight difference. So there it is. It's the 1 to 8 first focal plane Raptor. 1 to 6 first focal plane Raptor. Reticles are the same. Illumination is the same. Oh, I do want to put something out real quick before I get off. Now, I had an issue and let's just say the issue was me, because I had one before this and I had it replaced with this one because there were specks on the glass that were noticeable at illumination levels 10 and 11 indoors or in dark environments. Now, I read the manual, but I don't read every single word. In the manual, it states that there may be some imperfections on the lenses that may be perceivable in low light situations with full illumination on. And that's what I was getting. They replaced the scope for me anyway. I thought there was dust on the inside. I immediately emailed back when I got this one. I noticed a couple specks on this one. Tom over at Primary Arms called me back within an hour. I never asked for a phone call or even a response from Tom. It was sent to the warranty department because they had handled the first one, and he called me, asked to speak to me, and then we went over what the scope was designed for and how its function is to be used. When you're indoors, you're not going to use that high, high illumination range. Even in low light situations, that is meant for daytime bright settings. So when you're out in the daytime, a bright sunny day, you're going to see that reticle, but it's going to look like crystal clear glass. You're not going to see any specks whatsoever. And this is what he told me. Said, Ivan, go to the range, check it out. If you're still seeing these things during daylight bright settings, you immediately contact me back and we'll square things away. And bright sunny day, no clouds. At 11 setting, you can see that the reticle nice and clear and bright and red, but I couldn't see any of that other stuff whatsoever. So that one was on me. I should have read it a little bit further, and took the time to find, to really educate myself on how this scope is supposed to work and everything that comes along with the scope before having emailed that. If that was the case, I probably would have just held on to the last scope. But Primary Arms they're awesome with customer service, and they replaced it anyway. So, kudos to Primary Arms. I've had multiple optics. I have these two optics. I have a GLX4 2.5 to 10 by 44 with the Griffin mill. I have a 2.5 magnification. They're I forget the name of it, but it's just a 2.5 to 10 2.5 magnification. That's on my wife's rifle. She kind of has iffy eyes, so that optic works great for her. And I have a red dot from them, and I can't say enough good stuff about Primary Arms. If there's ever been an issue, they're immediately on top of it, and I think that they set a gold standard for other companies to model. I know Vortex has their I guess unconditional or VIP warranty, I believe it's called, but I've never had to deal with Vortex, and I don't really have any more Vortex optics except for one red dot. But yeah, they're phenomenal people. Tom, if you ever see this video, thank you so much again. I know I emailed you to let you know that I was truly appreciative of the fact that you took the time out of your day to give me a call when you didn't have to. But thank you very much. You guys at Primary Arms are awesome, and I love your optics. I think you provide phenomenal products at phenomenal price points. So, but anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If there's anything that you feel that I can improve on, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the scopes. I will follow back up again once I have this mounted on my one of my ARs, most likely my Ruger AR, and I'll go run it this weekend and see how it goes. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.